been a bumper 2024. I think it feels like such a long time ago now, but Nations Cup back up north in January 2024, where we managed to force our way into that final against Australia, but falling short, having taken the scalp the day before against New Zealand by just 1 goal. That kind of set the tone, I think, for us this year. And then we obviously go through a programme selection, and then, yeah, we've had a really busy couple of months, but a really exciting couple of months full of huge opportunities for us as a collective team, but also many individuals who have really stood up well for us on the international stage. And you know, I think the real highlights have to be, you know, during that tour in both Australia and then moving into New Zealand. I think nothing will kind of like most probably beat that feeling of playing in the Kudos Arena, which is where we head in 2027 for that World Cup against Australia, and beating them in for me, a real blueprint of a game as to the type of game that we have to be more comfortable sitting in. Goal for goal throughout. Match 2 of 3, you know, we'd lost the first match, and I think to kind of take that win was a really pleasing step forward for us. And not only that, but we did it with debutantes, you know, like Lois Pearson making her debut against Australia in Australia and getting a win. I think Helen Housby has said a number of times to this young evolving team, like, you just don't realise how good you are. And you know, to debut against these teams ranked above us, around us, and get wins is obviously not the norm for some of the girls that have been in this squad over a sustained period of time. So yeah, that was a real moment for us, and obviously disappointed that we couldn't get the series win there, but absolutely galvanised us to move into New Zealand. A really healthy rivalry that we've built up against the Silver Ferns over the last 3 or 4 years in particular, and getting more and more success against them, and it's not easy to do on their home soil. So I think to take that series win in those first 2 matches was most probably evidence that we kind of had some unfinished business from that Australia tour, but we were match fit, match sharp, and again, something to not take for granted to secure that series win while still continuing to expose some of our newer players. Having lost Nat and obviously Elle, that was slightly unexpected, and I think the team and the players that stepped in on their behalf have more than held their own on the international stage so early in their career. So there's lots for me to be excited about as a head coach, but also hopefully for our fans as we do look to the horizon of the Commonwealth Games and World Cup. And I say Commonwealth Games because we can celebrate the inclusion of our sport in that, and we know that that's given us so much joy and success obviously back in 2018. So yeah, lots to be really proud of. And then we were back to work here in Loughborough preparing for the new Horizon series, and what a groundbreaking, innovative series that is. Definitely going to provide us, I think, with a performance edge over some of our biggest opponents. To be able to play Jamaica at strength this time of year is something that we've longed for, and I think our rivalry is brilliant, and it goes back decades. So yeah, we were really proud to step out on the home court here in Manchester on back-to-back days and finding that win before we jumped on the plane to Kingston. Many of this team have not either played Jamaica and certainly haven't played in Jamaica against Jamaica, and that is, having known that as a player and a coach, that's a whole different experience, and we really embraced it. It was like a whole carnival surrounding the court, and they feel like they're on the court with you, their fans. So really privileged to be part of a new series like that. Obviously disappointed that we couldn't get the series win, but I think on balance, to kind of head into Christmas having beaten Australia, New Zealand and Jamaica in standalone matches and take that series win in New Zealand is a huge sign of progress with an evolving team. And it's not our norm to be so early in our cycle and with so many new players breaking through, and some of the young players who have been in the team but maybe not yet experienced or enjoyed the match minutes that they have, really fronting up. And I think there's definitely a kind of changing of the guard, but also a changing of mindset, which is very much needed for us to kind of show up and be more mentally tough as we head towards bigger challenges.